Well.
大家好.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Jesus MMA YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button if you like the content. Click the like button if you like the video. Leave a comment, share your thoughts on this week's UFC Fight Night in China. Johnny Walker versus Zhang. Let's get right into it. The UFC returns to China in Shanghai. This should be a good card. It's very top heavy in my opinion. There's some sneaky good fights, or there's some notable names on the prelims. Let's just go right into it. Starting off with Satybaldiev versus Nurgozhay. Listen, Nurgozhay, a bit infamous, coming off of a loss to Branson Ribeiro, in which he had like 0 moments of success, and I think he was the fighter that had the constant tick. I forget what it was. Maybe he wasn't. No, he wasn't poking his neck, but it was something to do with his face. I think, like he kept winking or wincing, something like that. He kept making a face. Unfortunately, brother has a tick, kind of makes it a bit harder for him to fight. Satybaldiev coming off a loss to Martin Buday, not really that bad of a loss to have. But what I want to talk about is Uran has a big reach advantage on DR, and I think that's going to come into play because Branson Ribeiro had a reach advantage and he was able to deal with Nurgozhay fairly easily. He just destroyed him. I think this time though, instead of a submission, Uran's gonna KO DR, use kind of the range on the feet, get it done that way. Maybe he outpoints him to a sloppy decision, but I'm gonna go with a second round KO starting off the card. Well, Uran Satybaldiev. Next fight up on the card, we have Lan Xiao versus Su Yanyu. I don't know why they still have his road to UFC shorts. I'm fairly certain he's already had a fight in the UFC. And it's a hard fight to pick because I don't really know too much about either of these fighters. I'm going to go with Su Yanyu though, getting it done. 29-28 decision. Yeah. Next fight up on the card, we got Yizha versus Weston Wilson. Now, I don't know almost anything about Yizha, but I'm still picking him to win by first round KO. Actually, no, probably second round KO. Something like up against the fence TKO against Weston Wilson. I can't trust Weston Wilson to win a fight. I'm sorry, but when you look at the guy, the brother looks like he has a full-time job at an internet service provider, something like that. And MMA in general is just a part-time job for him. I mean, look, bro. He's a man who's satisfied. Look at that face. Brother looks satisfied. Look at Yizha, though. Brother is hungry. This guy he is in the UFC and he wants to be in the UFC. He's there. He needs to be in the UFC. I know there's a huge height discrepancy, but Weston Wilson wilts, to say the least. Weston Wilson wilts. Little tongue twister for you guys over there. I'm going with Yizha getting it done. Yizha by second round TKO up against the fence. Easy work for him. If I get it wrong, then whatever, but I'm not picking Weston Wilson. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing that. Next fight up on the card, Mikael Pereira versus Kyle Daukus. Now, Kyle Daukus is coming back to the UFC after gaining a few wins on the regional scene. Originally, this was Marco Tullio, who was supposed to be in this fight, but he had to pull out. So now, Mikael Pereira versus Kyle Daukus is the fight. I'm going with Mikael Pereira. I know Mikael Pereira is on a bit of a losing streak right now. Granted, it's to the first one is to Hernandez, who, listen, has has the fight style to melt Mikhail Pereira, and we saw that he looked helpless in that fight. After the first 2 minutes, he gassed out completely. And then in the Abus Magomedov fight, bro, this guy lost to cardio against Abus Magomedov. You know that's a problem when that happens. Hopefully he's worked on it a bit. He probably hasn't. But I'm still going to pick him to beat Kyle Daukus. Kyle Daukus just is very finishable. Mikhail Pereira is super explosive in the first round. Kyle Daukus kind of just doesn't seem like that much of... He's not that much of a fast starter. He's really good on the ground. But Mikhail Pereira will easily survive any submission attempts that Kyle Daukus throws at him. And he's way more lethal earlier on. I think Daukus is going to be a bit too aware of that. It just feels like the Daukus brothers, I don't know, man. They just seem very finish prone. Like finished prone. And I'm going to go with that. Mikhail Pereira, first round KO. Maybe even a sub if Kyle Daukus goes for a desperation takedown. Could be something like that. You know, I'm going to change it. Mikhail Pereira, first round submission. I see it happening, man. Sorry about that. Just have to drink some water. Next fight up on the card. Rongzhu versus Austin Hubbard. I'm going to go with Rongzhu. This guy's coming off of an amazing fight against Cody Steele. He's very fun, entertaining barn burner. Austin Hubbard, this is his second time in the UFC. Brother's had all these ups and downs his career. And listen, bro, he couldn't really keep up with the UFC competition level back then. And it seems that he can't really keep up with the UFC competition level as of now. He lost to Kurt Holobaugh by submission. Kurt Holobaugh is kind of ended up not being much. He had a close fight with Hernandez, I believe. Yeah, man. Rongzhu has showed that he can face adversity in the Cody Steele fight, like getting rocked, and keep pushing forward. Austin Hubbard just keeps getting submitted or just losing decisions, and he's not been looking impressive. I can't go with him to win this fight. I'm going to have to go with Rongzhu getting it done by... I don't think he submits him, but I think he wins a decision 30-27 in this fight. Moving up the card. Now this is a hard fight for me to pick. I'm not going to lie. Loner Kavanagh versus Charles Johnson. Because I would totally pick Charles Johnson. But I don't know. Loner Kavanagh's a really good prospect. He's a really good prospect, man. And his wins in the UFC so far have been really good. He's shown that he could face adversity in a fight and bounce back. Or not bounce back, but more so like face competitiveness and kind of keep pulling ahead. And winning those back and forth fights. Charles Johnson was on a bit of a winning streak, and then he lost to Ramazan Temirov. Yeah, bro. He was just taking too many big shots, and I think it was the first 2 rounds. And then the third round, he started pulling up ahead in schooling. Ramazan. But, bro, it's so hard to pick this because Loner Kavanagh is also pretty short. And Joshua Van was short. And he lost to Charles Johnson. He got chinned. How the fuck did Charles Johnson beat Joshua Van, man? It's literally just because of his height and his reach and shit like that. And Joshua Van's smaller than Loner Kavanagh anyways. I don't think Loner Kavanagh will have much success in the grappling department of this fight. But Charles Johnson, like, I don't know, man. A lot of the times, like, his fights, I don't predict correctly what happens. Like, I thought he was gonna school Sumudaerji, but low-key he lost that fight. No offense to Charles Johnson, I thought he lost that fight though. Like, he low-key lost that fight. He definitely won. I believe it was the second round, or was it the third one? Whichever round he dropped Sumudaerji and then almost finished him. Fuck, man. This is a hard fight to pick. I have to go with Loner Kavanagh by decision. He's got more momentum going for him. He's got, like, they're both really well-rounded, though. That's the issue. Like, I can't really poke many holes in either of their games and see success. So I'm just gonna have to go with who has momentum, and it's Loner Kavanagh getting it done. 29-28 decision. It will be a close fight, though. Might even be a split decision. Who knows? And then closing out the prelims, we have Mahesahate versus Yizha. I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing about Yizha. Fairly certain Mahesahate is not that good. Okay, hi sir. Why is it only showing like parts of his name on the UFC website? Come on, man. Yeah, let's see. Real quick, because I know he's lost to Nicholas Mata. That's not the worst loss. He lost to Vyacheslav Borshev and Rafa Garcia. And then he has a win over Steve Garcia. What the fuck, man? I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go with Mahesahate. Does Yizha have any fights in the UFC? I'm sorry, guys. I'm surprised that this is closing out the prelims, because I know nothing about Yizha. That's the Evan Elder. Quilan Salkil. These are not the worst losses. Man. Yeah, he's taking down short notice, I'm guessing, or something like that. Whatever. I'm going with Mahesahate. Getting a decision done. 29-28. Maybe drops Yizha. I don't know, man. The less said about that fight, the better. Now the main card. Tailake Nueraji versus Kiefer Crosbie. 1-0. There's no way. There is no 11-1. So what the fuck is going on with the UFC's website? 10 KO wins. Okay. The issue is, like, a lot of his opponents could just be nobodies. Like 0-1, 4-3, 20-10. The Kiefer Crosbie's also garbage, man. Kiefer Crosbie's not a good fighter. But I'm still going to go with him to win. Because I just think it's going to happen. Sometimes you get that feeling where, you know, the hometown fighter, like, has all this hype behind them, but they're coming off the regional scene. Like in the Baku card. That Azerbaijani fighter, that Azeri fighter, and then got destroyed. He lost to Sam Patterson, Kevin Giuseppe. These are not the worst losses. But Kiefer Crosbie is just not that good. I'm still going to go with him to win, though. I think he gets it done. Fuck, bro. If he gets chinned, though, I'm going to look stupid. You know what? No. Kiefer Crosbie by first round KO. I'm going to go with my Hail Mary pick for that one. Next fight up on the card. Sumudaerji versus Kevin Borjas. Guys, listen. I know people are picking Kevin Borjas. He's got very good boxing. I'm actually going to go with Sumudaerji. I think this is going to be a boring fight, by the way. Both of these guys are kind of counter-strikers. They do best when they're countering. Sumudaerji's got the reach advantage on him, though. So Borjas is going to have to step in there. And Sumudaerji's really good at picking at opponents. Kind of like, you know, battle droid striking, Leon Edwards style. But with his reach advantage and his height and the leg reach advantage, Kevin Borjas' fight style, I don't think it will fare well against Sumudaerji. I actually have Sumudaerji winning this probably a 30-27, to be honest. Maybe a 29-28 in there. Listen, I don't want to hate on my Peruvian brother. Come on, soy peruano, awesome. But, Yeah. I just see the stylistic matchup not working out for him. And that's just what it is. Moving on. Now, see, this is what I mean by it's very top heavy. We got 3 really, really entertaining fights that are, or really good name value fights. Because, I don't know, it's a Waldo Cortes Acosta fight, so it could be boring. And Sergey Pavlovich was not entertaining last time out. But for this fight, do you guys ever, first off, is that reach? There's no way that's true. There is not a chance that that's true. Does he actually have 70-inch reach? 78-inch reach. Why the fuck does it say 70 on here, bro? Fucking UFC website. Do you guys sometimes feel like there could be a Waldo Cortes Acosta win? Just like maybe. Like Salsa Boy, you know, he gets his Ole moment, you know, he hits a few shots, starts taunting and stuff, and Sergey Pavlovich goes for takedowns, doesn't get them or something. But then I'm snapped back to reality, and I realize Sergey Pavlovich should destroy him, or at least knock him out. I think this will be a sloppy fight. I think Pavlovich's reach, though, and in these boxing ranges will get him the KO win against Waldo Cortes Acosta. I mean, Acosta's come a long way from his debatable and suspicious win against, what was that heavyweight? Let me find it. I know exactly what I'm thinking about, too. Against Jared Vandera, where he low-key just robbed him. Like, he just low-key did not win that fight. But he's come a long way from that, man. I mean, he beat Sergey Spivak. It's pretty good. But I don't know, bro. I gotta go with Sergey Pavlovich. There's no logic behind picking Waldo Cortes Acosta besides the fever dream scenario that I just presented to you guys. So Sergey Pavlovich getting it done. Probably a sloppy second round KO. Waldo Cortes Acosta, like, I don't know, just gets clipped in one of them boxing exchanges, and Pavlovich's reach keeps him safe from Acosta's punches. And yeah, that's how I see it. But bro, I could totally see a world where Waldo Cortes Acosta just leg kicks his way to a decision victory. I swear, if that's what happens and I don't pick it, whatever, man. Further up the card, this is a really good fight, or I'm looking forward to this fight, I should say. I'm not gonna jinx it, but Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. I'm gonna go with Aljamain Sterling to win this. Ortega does have some threats that he can present on the ground in forms of submissions, but Sterling is way too privy to that stuff, and he's coming up from a higher skilled weight class, being bantamweight. And listen, especially in grappling and scrambling sequences where they're a lot faster at bantamweight, Sterling's way more accustomed to that. I know he's been a featherweight now for a bit, but he still has there's still like the leftover, you know, bantamweight grappling skill with him. And Brian Ortega, I'm sorry, he doesn't look like the strongest grappler, just based off the build. I'm not insulting him or anything, I'm just stating what I see, okay? Yeah, I just see Aljamain Sterling getting the better moments on the ground in these scrambles. He'll probably hold top position. Now that I think about it, he might just pull a fucking positional control victory. I got him winning 30-27 though this fight. They're both kind of sloppy on the feet, so I don't see either of them really having that much of an advantage. Ortega is tough though, so he's not going to get KO'd by anything Sterling throws. Sterling could get clipped by something, so be wary of that. But his grappling sequences with Movsar Evloev were really good. I see him out-grappling Brian Ortega, 30-27. And then finally to the main event, probably the easiest for me to pick, besides the Weston Wilson fight. I'm sorry, Johnny Walker. I gotta go with Zhang Minyan. Walker has no chin. Zhang Minyan has nasty combinations. He can take smart approaches, but he's got some nasty elbows. So does Walker, though. And that's the thing. But I can't trust Walker to use an approach where I could see him getting a crazy, like, goofy KO, you know? A goofy KO moment. And I think it's time for the mountain lion to rise. Zhang Minyan gets it done. By a first round brutal KO, probably. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to look into this fight. Like, Johnny Walker can win with some dynamic moves, because Zhang Minyan's been finished before, quite a few times, actually. And he does get sloppy, especially when it comes to, like, straight shots. But when's the fucking last time I've seen Johnny Walker throw a straight shot except just a lunging and jab? And then he throws the leg kicks. And then he acts all goofy. And he tries to play it technical when in reality, he needs to just go balls to the wall to do well in this fight. That's what he needs to do to win. But I think he's still under John Kavanagh right now, the McGregor's coach. Or McGregor's old coach, whatever. Yeah, they're just not making the right game plans for him, and I can't trust him to not get chinned in this one when he always gets chinned. So I'm sorry, Johnny Walker. I hope you win, but I don't think you are going to. I'm going with Zhang Minyan getting it done. First round KO in like a boxing sequence, most likely similar to how he KO'd Brenson Ribeiro. That's the card. We got the Rock Golem from Clash Royale against, yeah, he doesn't look like anyone in Clash Royale, so, yeah. Against Zhang Minyan, the Mountain Lion. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about my picks. I'm sorry, some of them I really just don't know the fighters, and, yeah. But, I think I'll do fairly well this card, at least compared to the pay-per-view last time. I made sure that all the fights are on the UFC's website, so I shouldn't be missing any predictions for this one. Hopefully we get those numbers back, because last week it was brutal. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Ciao ciao. Like the video, leave a comment who you think is gonna win, so on and so forth. Subscribe. Ciao, ciao.